Hello race fans, welcome to my channel Racing 393. We're going to take a trip down memory lane again in my other favourite sim, Assetto Corsa. It's a great modding community. We've got a 2003 Silverstone layout, and we're going to take a couple of cars round there, a good 20 years apart. A Williams Renault FW15 from 1993 as driven by Damon Hill, and a beta version at the moment of the F1 2020 Renault Formula 1 team of today. So we're going to put them through their paces, have a chat and see how they get on. I'll see you on track. Hello race fans. Now we're going to take a couple of cars around Silverstone. The first one is what you can see ahead of you here. A Frank Williams FW 16 powered by Renault. A sort of the V10 era. As you can see by the cars, a much more aesthetically pleasing design. Basic wings, nothing else. A pure racing car, as I've said before. The era between like 89, mid 90s, sort of maybe 97, maybe. They were sort of the best years for the looks of the F1 cars in sort of modern time history. I suppose we all have our favourites. But we're going to take this car around the Silverstone layout of 2003 or 4. It's gone over a lot of transitions over the years. The first one back in the day when it was pretty much flat out all the way around, almost. No chicanes, and then they put the woodcote chicane in. And then it underwent a facelift. And then we were left with what was left in 2003/4. I quite like the track, although it's been many years since I've been round it, I have to say. So the car in front of me was driven by Damon Hill, 1993. His partner at the time was Alain Prost. Great rivalry between Prost and Senna. It's probably why this car was so successful, and Senna at the time must have been having talks with Frank Williams about the following year, 1994. I keep saying 2000. 1994, when it went over to the Rothmans Williams, and we all know what happened there. As you can see, very clean, very tidy looking car, sponsored by Sega amongst other things, and Canon. I quite like this Sega sponsorship because it had a little graphic near the cockpit, which kind of looked like the driver's legs were seen when they're in fact Sonic the Hedgehog's legs, but they were painted on as if they were the driver's legs. Quite clever, really. Back in the day, looked good. A bit different. No one else had done it. So we're just comparing lap times of a car which is getting on now for how that 93. Oh my God, is it that long ago? 1993, is that nearly 30 years ago? I thought it was just before I did the video I was thinking it was like 20. But 93, 2003, 2013, 2023. It's not quite 30 years, is it? But pretty scary actually. 30 years. Oh my God. Should I still be doing this? Maybe not. I enjoy doing this, so I'll keep doing it until I get bored or someone says to me, you better stop. No one's actually said that yet. So, without further ado, we're going to get this car on track and see what it's made of. Wish me luck. Welcome to the pit lane. And we're behind the wheel of the Williams FW16. So we're just sorting up some car setups at the moment, settings. More the controller more than anything. I've left the actual default settings, standard, stock settings. I haven't changed anything. Just on the standard Goodyear tyre that came with the mod. Incidentally, this mod is by Sim Racing Developments. The cars, which are paid mods, and the track is free, but that's from AFCL. They do mods for Assetto Corsa. But this one, the track was free. So we're going to take it out of the pits. I'm going to try and do my best to name some of these corners if I can. I did have an app which used to was corner names, but I don't know where that's gone. It used to be in the top left hand corner.
It takes it as clear.
But hey ho, we're coming out the pits. Just onto the first corner, which was Cops.
Cold tyres all round.
Which was a flat out right hander. If you got the line right. Into Beckett's and Chapel. Beckett's. What the hell's that? And we come down towards under the bridge. And then the right hander coming up Stowe. And into the Vale, which is I always get caught. Okay. I just had to cut the A word out there. I won't say it because she will speak. So Bridge, Priory, and then we're going to go into Luffield and then Woodcote. Car sounds fantastic. Even though I might not be able to drive it to its maximum. I've not had that many practice laps. I did a few yesterday. So here we go. Down the main straight. Try and go flat. Probably fifth gear. Right hander. Cops. Coming through to Beckett's and Chapel. A very fast switch of direction there with the cars. Spectacular to watch from there, as I have done. Down the straight, turn 7, right hander, Stowe. A very fast right hander, nice and wide on the exit. Down to Vale. This is the corner I always tend to muck up. It's always tighter than you think. Out of Vale round Club. Out of turn 10, down the main straight. Well, the hangar straight I think this is. Into Abbey. And then we go round to turn 12 and 13, Bridge. A very fast right hander, flat out, very bumpy. 14 into Priory. Turn 15. I don't know that name. Which is this one. It's a tighter left hander. And then Luffield, turn 16 and 17 into Woodcote. And out of Woodcote. Giving it full beans down the straight. And across the line.
You've just done a 130.8.
My fastest lap of the day. So here's a quick replay. It's not the best replay sort of angles. I think the cameras are not very dynamic, to be honest, but it gives you a good impression of the car. Great sound, great speed. Just doesn't look quite as good as most Assetto Corsa's camera angles. It only gave me camera 1 to 7, and I generally use 8 to 9. But maybe there's a mod. I haven't found it yet. So great. It's that corner that I always muck up. Is it Vale? And I did. I think that's where I did cock it up there, to be honest. So this is the actual lap that I did 130.9 or 130.89, I think. So I had to drop it down to 5th there. I did try flat out round there, but I got the line wrong. So you can't knock the sounds. The sounds are fantastic. I mean, it just makes you want to, it makes me want to play the game more and more. And there's so much content. If you know where to look, it's absolutely mind-boggling. You can download almost any car and any track combination you can think of, if you know where to look. Some of the mods you have to pay for. I had to pay for the car, the 1993 season, which gave me all the cars, but the track was free. I know the track's not its best, I agree, but you know, it replicates the year that it's supposed to be, 2003/4. These cars wouldn't have driven around a track layout configuration like this. So as we come down the final few corners, coming out of Woodcote, or Club Woodcote, and down across the line to finish the lap 130.8, as we have a glitch. And swiftly on to a more modern Formula 1 car, the Renault powered Renault Formula 1 team from 2020. So as you can see, this car has tons and tons of winglets and bits. It's only a beta version, so it's not absolutely perfect. The actual full product of the 2020 season comes out March the 13th. ACFL, if you look that up on Google, it's a French company. It's a paid mod. They do all sorts on there, so if you're interested in your Formula 1, by all means give them a look. The mod previously, as I said, was by Sim Racing Developments, another paid mod. They tend to specialise in Formula 1 amongst a few other things. So great content from both companies. So the Williams Renault, sorry, the Renault powered Renault V6 hybrid. You'll see that comparing the times, this car should be a lot quicker. Should be easy to drive in theory. Just to do a direct comparison, definitely this car as well would not have gone round Silverstone in the configuration that I've got on here, around 2003, 2004. There's a lot of people that dislike Silverstone's current layout and subsequent previously to that. I actually quite like them all. It's not. I don't know. Obviously they got the old one in the back in the day when it had flat out corners pretty much, or back in the day didn't even have that chicane at Woodcote. So, but they put the chicane in to slow them down. And it's like everything, isn't it? They change it for not always the best, I suppose. But I don't actually dislike the today's version of Silverstone. So lots of people don't get on with it. I think it's nice and flowing. It's probably a bit better than what this current setup is. Actually, it's a bit easier to drive. So, without further ado, Alexa, stop. I didn't even say that word. Right, I'll see you on track. Welcome to the pit lane in the 2020 beta version of today's current Formula 1 cars, and we're in a Renault powered Formula 1 team. Got the halo there in front of us. Love it or hate it.
Track's clear. Push, push, push.
It is what it is. 8 speed as we do our outlap. So the car's much easier to drive in my opinion, a lot quieter. Incidentally, I did actually record this as I was talking, but it didn't pick up my voice. I know what it was now, hence why you're getting me commentating afterwards. It's quite nice to see the Foster's sponsored banners, which obviously would not be allowed for some reason nowadays, because people just can't think for themselves and influenced by everything. I thought that was what advertising was. Common sense should prevail, but sadly we lack that nowadays. This car tends to find bridge there and into, is it Abbey? But that corner particularly difficult. Priory. Abbey was before that. The corner I keep, one of the corners. Well, I don't keep mucking Abbey up. It's Vale. But here we go. So here's our first lap. Much smoother, much more smoother power delivery it would seem. Much quicker around the first corner. Copse into the complex, Beckett's and Chapel. Very quick change of direction. It's actually it's much easier in this car, I must say, but it does tend to be affected by the bumps a lot more. So down the straight and into a right-hander again. Stowe, very fast right-hander as we said before. Bumpy as well as I hit the limiter. And as I go off.
Mind these track limits, please, Dean.
So we'll have to give it another lap. And then that happens. So back again to start. I sort of cut a lot of the lap out, but here is the fastest lap I did in this car today. So down the main straight, we'll do a bit of commentary here, into the first right-hander Copse.
You need to watch the track limits.
And I went wide again. I thought that was alright actually, but so here we are then, starting another lap across the start-finish line. Eventually I'll do a clean lap, I promise. Into Copse, flat out right-hander again. The car is, as I said before, it is a lot easier to drive. We're coming to the complex now. It's Beckett's and Chapel. I'm sure it's got another name there, but it eludes me at the moment. Down the straight, under the bridge, and into a tighter than you expect right-hander, Stowe. I've sat there and watched the Grand Prix from there. It's a very spectacular corner actually, back in the day. And into this corner here, turn number 8. It's down to Vale, so it always catches me out of this one. So a very long right-hander club, which is very late on the power. You don't really go on the power until you almost exit in the corner. You can pick up so much speed. Down towards turn 11 now, Abbey. Another. It's actually faster than you think. So, but slow in, fast out. Bridge, Very bumpy. Clearly where I went off last time and many other times. Priory. Into the long right-hander, Luffield. And then into Woodcote. And hopefully, my fastest lap. If we listen out.
You've just done a 128.9. That's your fastest lap.
Ta-da! So that's that lap. Here's the crash. Or glitch. Yeah, weird. On the bumps though, understandable. So here's the actual lap now. I don't really like the camera angles, as I've said. It's a mod. I don't know whether the cameras can be modded. So it's going around Cops. Into the complex. I like this part of the track. Or used to. It's not too bad even nowadays, but it was awesome back then. Just went faster and faster and faster. Beckett's and Chapel, now at the main straight. Into Stowe. I'm pretty sure this is where I might be wrong. Mansell and PK, the infamous 1986-87 British Grand Prix. We got past him there. Quite a famous manoeuvre. Very fast left. Well, not a fast left-hander, but it can catch you out. It was fast, as you can see where the old track was. And we're coming under a very bumpy. Well, this is Abbey actually. This is where I keep going wrong. Sorry, I'm ahead of myself there. Under bridge. Sometimes difficult to commentate actually when you're watching from the outside. This is where I went off, but very bumpy. Abbey, Priory, sorry, into Luffield. I keep saying Abbey. But it's a very clean lap. A 128 is kind of absolutely mashed it compared to the old car. And onto the main straight. And that should be that as another glitch comes up, which can be expected. And there we have it. So it seems to me that Assetto Corsa doesn't get as much views, even though the content is very similar to what I produce in R Factor and R Factor 2. I wonder why that is. I don't know why that is. I quite like Assetto Corsa. So I hope you enjoyed it. That was like 20 minutes of me waffling on. Let us know what you think, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.